If you've been laid off or you're between jobs and you have an old 401k, you might have an option most people never hear about. You may be able to access some of that money without taxes or early withdrawal penalties. Here's what usually happens. People feel pressure, bills stack up, and they start thinking about cashing out their 401k. And that can be brutal. Taxes, penalties, and long-term damage. But there's a big difference between cashing out and using a properly structured approach that may let you access funds while still protecting what you've built. This is where a self-directed 401k rollover can matter. Roth Academy helps people take an old employer 401k and roll it into a self-directed plan. And when structured correctly, that plan may allow a 401k loan. And the key point, a loan is not the same thing as a taxable withdrawal. Most people ask one simple question. How much could I actually access? IRS guidelines generally limit 401k loans to the lesser of $50,000 or 50% of your vested balance. And not everyone qualifies for the maximum. That's why this has to be reviewed based on your situation. This is mainly for people who were laid off or are in transition and have a 401k from a former employer and need financial breathing room for living expenses without wrecking the future. And if you're thinking, will this mess up my retirement? That's the most common concern. The entire point is to understand the trade-offs so you're not guessing. What I like about Roth Academy is they don't promise shortcuts. They emphasize education first, and they're supported by legal guidance from a master tax attorney. And they're very clear. The goal is to help you access what you need today while still protecting your long-term foundation. If this hits home and you're trying to figure out what to do with an old 401k after a layoff, the next step is not jumping in. The next step is understanding whether you qualify, how it works, and what the downsides are. There's a page that walks through the approach, and if you want, you can book an educational call. They literally say, no pressure, no sales talk.